Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I create this color map function that basically allows you to take any kind of gradient from 0 to 1, just a black and white texture, and then send it in Niagara from the material, and then over here you can remap it from black to white value. And you can even control alpha over here. That's quite useful practice that I'm using in my daily work. So let's get started. Let's create simple Niagara system, call it ns_color remap. Let's get inside. Here we just need to create any emitter that you want, but we can take this one so it always stays in our screen. And now we need the material. Call it m_color remap. And in the material itself, we will need two texture samples. Let's turn them both into emitters. This one's going to be color remap itself, and this one's going to be grayscale base. For the grayscale base, let's take some random noise from my VFX folder. Let's take this one. And here the magic will happen from this texture. And I created this VFX remap texture just for debugging purposes for now, which has alpha channel from left and right, and also quite different color gradients to check. And we basically gonna project our grayscale texture to this gradient from left to right. So on the left will be the black value of the grayscale texture, and on the right will be the white value, basically like this gradient over here. And to achieve that, we need to take our grayscale base. And since we're using only one channel, we should create some kind of UV by taking this red channel and any value as a secondary channel, and simply send it to the UV of our color map texture. And if we make our material unlit and translucent, just for test, you can see that it's already applying our grayscale value and then remaps it according to this texture. And since the UV is starting from top to bottom, we can take this gradient, for example, which will be approximately at 0.7. And you can see that our fire gradient already applied here. Then for VFX purposes, we take particle color and multiply color to color, opacity to opacity. Save this one. Now we go back to Niagara and apply our material. And here, the main part that we need to go to emitter update and create a new set. Here we will create a variable called CurveForColors. And here we have our gradient. The most important part that we need to check this checkbox called expose curve to material. This node literally generates the gradient texture from 0 to 1. So if we put keys over here and here for alpha, set this one to some kind of values so we can see the difference. But nothing's changing because we haven't attached this color curve for our material in sprite renderer. So if we go to sprite renderer, go down to bindings, in material parameter attributes, we create a new attribute binding. Here we have our material parameter name, which should be our color remap from material. And as a Niagara variable, we take our color for curve. And here we go. It casts our gradient to material, and then we can easily modify it here by making any kind of values. And the best part that if for some reason you want to increase the emissiveness, for example, of this particular area, but not the empty spot. So instead of scaling up the whole texture with emissiveness, you can simply increase this value over here. So if you want green area to be more emissive, we just scale it up here. And as you can see, other parts remain the same, and this one is increasing in emissiveness. And the same way we can darken some areas. And for example, we can also play with alpha. If we have some specific needs for that, we can set alpha to 0 over here, but here we set it to 1. And then on top of that, you can go to the curves mode and then set your tangents in your own unique way, like just basically by playing with values however you want. The important part of this setup that you always need to have keys on the very end of the gradient from left and right. Otherwise, it will take your furthest keys and then interpolate the value from left to right. So basically, if you have this kind of setup, and if we take this key and move it to left and right, you can see that nothing is changing in alpha, because this curve is creating gradient from left key to right key. So you should always have the key on the end, at least one. And the same for colors. You can see that if we have key over here, and if we move it here, nothing's changing. So let's get it back to normal. And check it on the level. Here we go. We have our material, our emitter, and all the values are working properly. And as an example, I made this type of magical cloud, and let's just duplicate it a few times. So here we can easily just create, let's say, some fiery burst, then some poison cloud with some dark green and yellowish gradients, and let's say some purplish dark magic here. I don't know, just play around with colors.